Transfers. Every communication protocol involves the exchange of data packets. Same is the case with USB. These packets encapsulate information in a standard defined organized manner. These packets generally contain information related to controlling the data exchange in form of actual payload, error detection and correction through status checker. Next is USB packet fields. What are the data packet fields? In USB, the LSB of the packet is transmitted fast. An AUSB packet contains different fields. They are synchronization. It is a mandatory field occurring at the starting of the packet, and this field synchronizes the clock of the receiver with the transmitter. That's the synchronization field, which is help to synchronize the clock of the transmitter of the receiver with the transmitter. PID means packet ID. It indicates the packet type that is being sent. This field is of 8 bits long. The upper 4 bits identifies the type of packets and lower 4 bits are bitwise complement of upper 4 bits. The lower 4 bits helps in detecting errors. USB packet fields. In USB, the LSB of the packet is transmitted fast. An USB packet contains different fields. They are synchronization. It is a mandatory field occurring at starting of the packet, and this field synchronizes the clock of the receiver with the transmitter. For low and full speed mode, this field is 8 bytes long, and for high speed mode it is 32 bytes long. PID means packet ID. It indicates the packet type that is being sent, and this field is of 8 bit long. The upper 4 bits identifies the type of packet, and lower 4 bits are bitwise complement of upper 4 bits. Next is your address. This field contains the designation address of the USB device. In ENDP point, this field specifies the endpoint number. CRC stands for cyclic redundancy check, and this field is used to check the data in the packet for any error using CRC process. So these are the fields. UOP, end of packet, and this UOP stands for end of packet, and this field signals the data lines for signal ended 0 SUO for approximately 2 bit times, followed by J state idle state for 1 bit time. So end of packets means that is the field which shows the end of the flows or end of the flows of the data packets. Next is types of USB packets. Basically there are 4 types of data packets: token packets, data packets, handshake packets, startup frame packets as well. So token packets, these packets are only sent by host, and the packet structure contains a PID byte, 11 bits of address and 5 bit CRC. Types of token packets, these are the synchronized PID, device address, endpoint, CRC, 5 bit UART. Next is your data packet. 2 types of data packets are there, data 0 and data 1, and the packet structure contains a PID byte, data field and 16 bit CRC. The data field can carry 0 to 1023 bytes of data. Data must be always sent in multiple of bytes. Next is your handshake packets. These packets are mostly sent in response to data packets, and they simply consist of a PID byte, and there are 3 types of handshaking packets. Startup frame packets, SOP. The SOF packet consists of an incrementing 11-bit frame number on a full speed bus, and this packet is sent by the host every 1 millisecond and on a high speed bus every 125 bus. This packet is used to synchronize asynchronous transfer. Next is your USB modes of transfers. USB currently supports 4 types of transfer mode. Each of them is designed to solve different purposes. They are control transfer. Control transfer are used to carry information related to configuration of the peripheral device, and there are 3 stages in control transfer, and each stage is made up of 1 or more transactions there. So next is your setup stage. The control transfer always begin with this stage. In this, the host sends the query request to the USB devices. Data stage. In this stage, several in or out transactions are made. The data packet contains the information related to request made in previous stage. Next is your status stage. This stage uses on in or out transactions, and this stage always occurs in order to provide the status result of the request made by host. So these are the control transfer. Next is your bulk transfer. Bulk transfers are used to transfer large amount of data sequentially, and they have no guaranteed bandwidth. The transfer takes place when there is some bandwidth left after allocating bandwidth to control. Interrupt and asynchronous transfer. If there are no bandwidth available or the bus is busy, the transfer may take very long to complete. Bulk transfers are unidirectional. Next is asynchronous transfer. Asynchronous transfer is used where data delivery at constant rate is important even if some data gets missed or corrupted. Next is interrupt transfer. Interrupt transfer uses polling to check if there is any device which wants to transfer the data. And if the device doesn't have any data to send it response with acknowledgement, the polling is done on regular basis, and interrupt transfer is also used to transmit data to a device on scheduled basis. So these are the USB modes of transfer. First is your control transfer. Under control transfer, these are the setup stage, data stage, and the startup stage. Similarly, bulk transfer, where you can transfer large amount of data sequentially, and they have no guaranteed bandwidth. There is no guarantee. The transfer takes place when there is some bandwidth left after allocating bandwidth to control, interrupt, and asynchronous transfer. Next is asynchronous transfer, used where data delivery at constant rate is important even if some data gets missed or corrupted. Right? And the interrupt transfer uses polling to check if there is any device which wants to transfer data. If the device doesn't have any data to send it response with acknowledgement. Next, come to the small computer system interface, SCCI. A small computer system interface is a standard interface for connecting peripheral devices to a PC. Depending on the peripherals, the surrounding devices, right? They are connected from the outside to the computer. Depending on the standard, generally it can connect up to 16 peripheral devices using a single bus including one host adapter. SCCI is used to increase performance, deliver faster data transfer, transmission, and provide larger expansion for devices such as CD-ROM device scanners, DVD drives, and CD drives. Common SCCI components are: there are several components used in SCCI storage system. The first one is initiator, target, service delivery subsystem, and expander. First is initiator. An initiator issues request for services by SCCI device and receives response. Yes. Initiator come in a variety of forms and may be integrated into a server system, board, or exit within a host bus adapter. SCCI connectivity typically uses a software-based initiator. Next is a target. SCCI target is typically a physical storage device. The target can be hard disk or an interior storage array. Service delivery subsystem, the mechanism that allows communication to occur between the initiator and the target. It usually takes the form of cabling. Expander, only used with serial attached SCCI SAS, allows multiple SAS devices to share a single initiator port. So these are the you can say the components of SCCI. First, initiator, where the issues request for services by SCCI devices and receive response. Target, SCCI target is typically physical storage devices. The target can be hard disk or an initiator storage array, and then the service delivery subsystem, the mechanism that allows communication to occur between the initiator and the target, and expander, SSI says. And these are the signals, SSI bus signals, BG signal, select, control data, input, BG indicates that the bus is in use, select, the initiator uses the signal to select a target. Control and data, the target uses this signal to indicate whether the information being transferred is control information. Input and output, the target uses this signal to specify the direction of the data movement with respect to the initiator. Message, this signal used by the target during the message phase. Request, the target uses this signal to start a request and acknowledge handshake. Acknowledge, this signal used by initiator to send a request to acknowledge handshake. Attention, the initiator uses the signal to inform the target that the initiator has a message ready. Attention, the initiator uses this signal to inform the target that initiator has a message ready. Reset, this signal is used to clear all devices and operating from the bus. Data, 8 data signal number 0 to 7 and parity signal. The main phases involved in the operation of the SSI bus are arbitration, selection, information transfer, and the selection. Arbitration, the bus is free where the BG signal is in the inactive high voltage state. Any controller can request that use of the bus while it is in the state, and since two or more controllers may generate such a request at the same time, an arbitration scheme must be implemented. Arbitration is a scheme where suppose multi-number of the request is generated, then you can say that process control this type of, when the multiple request is generated, then this process is used. Selection, having own arbitration, controller 6 continues to accept BG and DB6 its address. It indicates that it wishes to select controller 5 by asserting the select and the DB5 line. Next is information transfer. The information transfer between two controllers may consist of commands from the initiator and to the target, status responsiveness from the target to the initiator, or data being transferred to or from the IO devices. Handshake signaling is used to control information transfers. Next is a reselection. When a logical connection is suspended and the target is ready to restore it, the target must first gain control of the bus. It starts an arbitration cycle, and after winning the arbitration, it selects the initiator. The initiator is now asserting busy signal. The initiator waits for a short period after being selected to make sure that target has asserted busy signal, and then they release the busy line. The connection between the two controllers has now been re-established, with the target in control of the bus as required for the data transfer process. And the main phases involved in the operation of the bus are arbitration, selection, information transfer, and the reselection. Okay. So this is about the chapter number 6. So thank you to all, and we are going to discuss from the next class, chapter 7. Thank you to all.